Boom! I'm Julian.
And I'm Karyl.
Welcome to the late night rap. Karyl, what go on?
There, another night in paradise.
Alright, cool, man. Big news yesterday, Karyl, based on our last discussion. So Jamaica ended the 50-year-old Cuba program.
Well, the Prime Minister was most balanced when he did first refer to Cuba, but now it looked like him get unbalanced. I don't know why, but I
Yeah,
think that's another topic before we talk to this erudite guest that we have here.
that's right, that's right. But, Karyl, you see me in my Reggae Boyz jersey, so you know what that means. We're going to talk some football. This week we saw the under-20 Reggae Boyz book the ticket for final round CONCACAF qualifying. That's against the background of the under-17 team booking their ticket, under-17 male team booking their ticket to the World Cup later this year. And the under-17 team, Girlz, booking their ticket to the final round CONCACAF qualifying. And we've also qualified for the under-20 women's final round qualifying as well. And we've been seeing the under-15, I think the under-15 team, national team, are back-to-back champions in the CFU championship. So, what we want to know is whether this is a good time for youth football. Finally, we're seeing a grassroots program. So to help us discuss that, we have a special guest, respected analyst and host of Mr. Analyst podcast, Leighton Levy. Leighton, welcome to the show.
How are you doing, guys? Always a pleasure to see new content being created. Love the idea. So, welcome to the world. I've been doing it for the past few months, and things been working out all right. So, the more the merrier. There's space for everybody, and I think, this is a good move, especially since legacy media is struggling in Jamaica these days. It's time to probably try other avenues to get onto the platform and inform people. So welcome to the space, boys.
Thank you, Leighton. I really appreciate it. But Leighton, the question to you, is it a good time for Jamaica's grassroots football program? Should we be excited about what's going on?
Yes, I think there is cause for excitement. I don't think we have a proper grassroots program yet, though. I think what we're seeing is over the past few seasons, the JFF, through their coaching development program, has brought a number of coaches to a higher level of coaching. So we're seeing that at the high school level, and in some instances at the prep school level as well. I think that we're beginning to see the fruits of that. But I still think we're some way off of having a proper grassroots program, because grassroots is not high school kids. Grassroots is 6 to 10. And in some countries, 3 to 10. We're not there yet, but the signs are encouraging that we are moving in the right direction. I think the upskilling of a number of coaches locally is helping the development of football. Institutions like Ballers, for example, we see them bringing through a lot of youngsters coming through. Phoenix Academy is doing some work as well, and I think both of them, and I'm not sure what the other academies are, but certainly there's something happening that is helping us move towards a proper structured grassroots program. I spoke to Michael Ricks about that, the JFF president, about that last year, or was it the year before, when they launched the Scotia program that is run through, I think it's CFU or CONCACAF. I don't remember exactly what body it runs through. But we need to have a situation where we develop our kids along a line of philosophy of how we want to play football. And I think that's where it needs to start.
Mr. Levy, I hear that. But Jamaica qualified for the World Cup in 2000.
1998.
Eh?
98.
1998, right? Decades ago. And at the time, we had a coach called Mr. Simoes, who
Yeah.
said for Jamaica to advance, we needed to place emphasis on our youth program.
Mm.
This is now the same Mr. Simoes who took a 17-year-old Ricardo Bibi Gardner out of Woolmers, transformed him into a World Cup player, which resulted in a contract for this player, which at the time was the richest contract in the Caribbean.
Yeah, £1 million, yeah, for both someone.
All right.
Yeah.
What has become of the project and Mr. Simoes' recommendations
I
as it
think
relates
it
to
has
working
been.
with the grassroots?
There is no evidence that there's a structured program. Huh? One of the things, and I think we've largely become dependent on in our quest to qualify for another World Cup, that we're trying to build from the top down. We're bringing a lot of players from the UK, which I don't have a problem with. Let me just put that out there. I don't have a problem with them bringing in players from overseas, because the challenge that we face is that a lot of players in our Premier League, or what passes as the Jamaica Premier League, are, while they have improved over the past 10 years, perhaps, are not yet at the level where they can consistently play at a high level.
Because they have
We've
not been
seen that.
exposed. Because they have not been exposed. Talent,
It's
Mr.
not-
Levy. I
it's
don't mean
not
to cut
about-
you, Mr. Levy, but talent.
No,
Talent
yeah,
is
but
not
talent-
waning, is not wanting in Jamaica. Physical
No,
prowess.
but the talent has to be developed fundamentally in countries like Belgium, countries like Germany, countries like France. By the time the kids get to 10 years old, they're mastering passing, ball control, first touch, heading, dribbling. We are developing those kids at a high school level in Jamaica, not before. I mean, yeah, there are exceptions, I will say this. But across the board, in general terms, a lot of our kids are learning those fundamentals in high school. That's not how you develop a football program. That's not how you develop build a national philosophy of how we want to play football. You have to start them early. That's why I said Ballers is doing a good job. When I look at some of the kids from Ballers, because I have friends who have kids playing for Ballers, they have the fundamentals sorted out properly. So by the time they get to high school, these guys will be better than we've seen before. There have been exceptions, don't get me wrong. There have been exceptions to the rule over the years where a player's natural talent will come through. We've seen it with people like Sweetie Smith. We've seen like people with Lenny Hyde. We've seen the Denden Hutchinson, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Jahil Hyde, who went on to run track instead of playing football.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the reality is that's isolated cases. We need to see more players coming up at the same level at the same time, so that those players can then transition from one age group to the next into the national program. So when we're bringing in players from the UK, for example, they will be to supplement what we have, not dominate what we have. Because the reality is, if you look at the players that we're bringing, and this is not to be disrespectful, I'm just bringing up something that's quite factual. If you look at the players that we're bringing from overseas, even the players that have left here and gone over to Europe, they're playing substandard leagues across the world. And in England, most of the players playing the Championship or First Division. They're not playing in the Premier League, and they're not playing for Liverpool's. They're not playing for Manchester City. They're not playing for Manchester United. So what we need to do is to develop players that will come up in larger numbers, that we can get then, because we don't have a proper league here, and I probably never will, because we just don't have the funding to back that, because the players are not earning anything significant. So you get them out into the leagues, have them exposed to the highest levels of football, so when they come back to the national program with a specific philosophy, then we will have a team that will play and be competitive against some of the best in the region and probably the best in the world. But we're not doing that. Huh?
Well, it brings us back. It brings us back to the moot question: grassroots football in Jamaica.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. There's no structure. There's no.
We qualified for France. 1998, we qualified for France, and since that time, we were instructed to develop a youth program.
Yeah.
It is in my layman's view as a youth who used to play football in the street and the lanes and the alleys, that Jamaican youth them can play ball. I don't think it's the ability to play ball that is holding us back. It is the structural, the operational part of football that holds us back.
And administrative part. Let me ask you a question. Let me give you my opinion. I've always felt that, you know, I love schoolboy football, but I've always felt that the schoolboy program needs to be gutted, right? You can't have a Manning Cup where you have one team beating one team 30 love. You know, and most of the scores in the first round are lopsided scores, right? I think at the very least you need a schoolboy football program where week in, week out, right, or day in, day out, the boys are playing against high level competition, right? What's your take on that?
Yeah, but you're actually building on my point.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you had a proper grassroots program, by the time the kids get to high school, they will be developed enough so they don't have these lopsided scores.
Mm-hmm.
Because every school would have players who are capable of playing proper football. But let me go back to something that Karyl said earlier. When you say a lot of Jamaican kids from play ball, what do you mean? Define playing ball for me.
Dribbling, controlling, kicking with both feet, ball sense, heading, the fundamentals of the game. We're not lacking. We're not lacking the athleticism that it requires. What we're lacking in is the discipline.
No, it's not just discipline, Karyl. You're talking about things in an abstract way, huh? First of all, I watch a lot of kids play prep school football in Jamaica. The fundamentals are not there.
That's right.
Right? What you think is fundamental, I'm yet to see a 10-year-old in Jamaica across the board. I'm talking generally, I'm talking about individual skills that might be different. That can trap a ball without it going 5 yards in front of him.
So when that can make
that can make a pass
in my day though. That obtained in my day.
Okay, you.
That can make a pass 30 or 40 yards and drop it on a player's foot.
Which
that
obtained in my day as well.
That can understand how a play is unfolding and make a pass that is designed to break the lines of a defense.
Which obtained in my day as well.
Karyl,
sir. Me and you are come from the same time, boss.
Exactly.
And you used to watch the same football. It wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There were exceptional teams. Clarendon College.
There were
Calabar.
exceptional players.
But
so
Karyl,
there were teams.
Even in your time, Karyl, we were exposed when we faced international competition. Even in those heydays.
Yeah.
And it is still, no, this is the heyday. Those were not the heydays. This is the heyday. When we have players playing all over the world, this is the heyday. Those days, when I used to watch people play football, them used to eat an orange at halftime. There wasn't even bottled water. Back in that day, I was telling you about people used to play better football and have better ball sense. There was a little youth to say, there's a school called St. Catherine High School. And there was a little youth named Ratty Jones. St. Catherine used to get 10 love, 6 love, 7 love. But Ratty Jones made all schools team because Ratty Jones could have played football and everybody cross Manning Cup knows that Ratty Jones deserved to have made the football. There were always good players in Jamaica who could control the ball, make a pass out the vision, and do it.
Did Ratty Jones get picked up by any nationals in club side or anything? No, because it was a different
time and era. But he would probably would have been.
But that's my point. If you're not developing the talent, right? Clubs are not going to look your way. As far back as you can remember, right? African players, there's a point when African players never used to be called into clubs into Europe. No, they are. You know why? Because they have strong programs. Right across, I mean, for the, I know it's a exception, but for the most part, teams like DR Congo that we might be facing if we can get past New Caledonia, Senegal, Egypt, all these countries have developed their kids from early. So someone, look, you realize that a lot of these kids here that make the under 17 and the under 20 team, they play club football here. But when they go and play like the CONCACAF or the World Cup at that level, they're exposed, they're pulled to shreds because guess what? Tactically, we are not there. Technically, I mean, look, give an example. We destroyed, what was it the other night? Cayman 9 Love, I think it was. Right? Cayman, and we played some good football, decent football against Cayman. How many of our players right now can walk into a club side in Europe where there's a money, where there's all of the things that we need to develop? I mean, yeah, we make some little USL teams. My point. The fact is this: of all of the players, Leon Bailey is the only player, or one of the only players who have gone into England and done anything, and to Europe and done anything. Right? So what I'm saying to you, it can't be one or two players.
That is not entirely true, though. Wait, said to me, so Ricardo Fuller never go over there go play some football. No, and Bibi Gardner never go over there go on there. Leon Bailey the first man do that. Lindy didn't do it. Hello?
Yeah, so okay. So Lindy played.
Come on, Leon, man. No come tell me about Leon Bailey like him and Endal and Bial and
Lindy played in the 1940s. Right? Ricardo Fuller played in the 1990s. Bibi Gardner played in the 2000s.
It's only Leon Bailey time matter, you're telling.
How many? No. How many players, Karyl? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 30? Or is it 5? That's my point.
What my point is, though, Leighton, is that it is not as a result of a lack of ability. It is as a result of a lack of organization and administration to hold the talent that we have in Jamaica.
Julian, what me just say a while ago, Julian, about the structure development at grassroots level. That's what I'm talking about.
But remember, I said that too.
Mm-hmm. You think talent is everywhere now? Yeah. Talent is everywhere.
Of course it is.
It's how you develop that talent. You build a structure around that talent and bring that talent up. That is where we are falling down. We have talent everywhere. Why do you think that our track and field athletes? What do you think our track and field athletes do as well as they do globally?
Because we have a better structure.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So nobody's disputing the fact that there's that talent here. What I'm saying is that there's no structure around the talent.
All right. Hold on, Leighton. Probably we're arguing at crosshairs here because I'm saying the way how it is coined all the time makes it look like the players or the talent pool is void of anybody who could be a world beater. That's the way it's coined, right?
No, what I'm saying, there's no lack of talent.
What I'm saying is, though, it's not about the player them and the individual them play football at Jamaica. It is our structure. It is the way how we look at football as a nation, the way we approach it, the way how
that's what
administrators seem to me more important than players.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've been saying.
Exactly.
Why we can't reach nowhere? I just start messing. Me not argue with the latest. Me not argue with the
No. But you're in saying that you're coming to my point from a different angle. But it's the same thing that we're saying. Yeah. What I'm saying to you is that we need to build structure. For example, every Premier League club in Jamaica should have a grassroots program, but they don't have one because it's expensive.
Primary school and prep school do it for them.
Yeah, So that's why I'm saying. So if you're not playing for Mona, for example, Mona Prep or Vice Prep or whatever it is, you're not going to get the coaching necessary to get to that level. So what I'm saying to you is this. In order for us to have that level of development on a consistent basis, where we're sending our best players to the best clubs in the world, we have to have structure from early. Because a lot of these kids are learning football when they're in high school, right? I'm watching on the under 20 team the other day, right? And they're playing on AstroTurf, which is difficult because the ball bounces higher sometimes. But their first touch, in most instances, I find, is not adequate. When you watch La Liga, for example, when you watch the Bundesliga, when you watch English Premier League, but not so much, and you see a man swing a pass across the field and a player trap a ball. You ever watch how, not even, you watch how Vinicius trap a ball will come across and it dead on foot. And I'm already looking up to see where the next pass is going to come. Right? Our players are not that. The
only thing, Vinny, about that little youth from down John's Lane in a Spanish town, when a ball come across the field and him chop it one time, but him don't chop it 3 or 4 times, is practice. Is that ball coming over again. But that youth there, when they down a Spanish town, can trap that ball on in conditions that are less favorable.
Yeah, but under pressure?
Than the
under pressure? Under pressure?
He has done it many times. Look,
you know what
I ask you, Leighton, what happened to the goal program?
That I don't know. You have to ask the JFF that. I don't know about that. Because a lot of things start in Jamaica and they never go anywhere.
Never done.
For whatever reason, because it's primarily because of that. Look, the JFF takes a lot of flack, but here's the thing. People forget that. And because I'm going to use this point as well because it's something that I find absolutely mind-numbing. We see players go to especially players from here, go abroad and play for clubs that are valued at hundreds of millions of pounds or hundreds of millions of euros. They come home to play for Jamaica and they complain that, hey, we in a coach as opposed to business class. And the reality is simply this. The JFF don't have the money. JFF was in debt for the tune of $200 million just a few years ago before Dennis Strong finally managed, and through Adidas as well, managed to get themselves into that hole. And we keep telling ourselves that the JFF is falling down on the players. But what I'm asking, and I ask people this all the time, where the money will come from? Where is the money coming from? Right? Because it's easy to say you need to book 30 business class tickets coming from Europe to come play for Jamaica. Where that money coming from? That's millions of dollars right there now. Right? So what I'm saying to you is that we blame...
I'm sorry, Mr. Leighton.
No, hold on.
Stop. The money came. The money came in 1998, and it came to develop that same youth program and me and you argue about and say nobody now there Jamaica can play ball or who can play and who can trap the ball. The money came. What did we do with the money?
$4 million US dollars in 1998.
At the time it was 40 now.
What exactly could that do?
What came of the... Look,
the players, first of all, the players got their cut out of it.
Going to Trinidad. And I saw the João Avalanche training center and stadium. I saw the Hazley Craft. You know, can say what I want to say about Jack Warner, but he invested in football in Trinidad. When Jamaica get that money, Jamaica did not invest in football in Jamaica. That is why me and you talk now.
All right, so that's another misconception, I think, from where I sit, because okay, so it was $1.15 million per game in 1998. We played 3 games?
That was $20 million just to qualify, or something like that.
With $20 million to qualify,
$1 million. How much it is?
It was not
in
20.
1998, it was a good money.
Yeah, but that money also. But that money from an inflation level also went into spending money to do things for the federation.
And we couldn't do the gold project. And we couldn't do the gold project.
Right? we behave as if the money that we get at these things lasts forever. They don't. Football is an expensive sport to run, you know.
I'm saying what we got in 1998, we didn't do
no,
what
hold
we
on. You
was
talk
mandated
about
to have to be done.
you talk about Jack Warner in Trinidad.
Yeah.
What did Trinidad have that we don't have?
Jack
What allowed
Warner.
Trinidad to build those things? No. Mm-hmm. Trinidad had a strong oil industry that allowed them that kind of opportunity to build stadia, to build infrastructure. When we won, whatever won in the World Cup in 1998, what I could have built? Tell me what I could have built. Tell me one thing that I could have built.
The gold project. The gold project.
And how long would that last?
It would have lasted because
What?
we would have
Lasted until
we
when?
We would have exported footballers and we would have made money. At Jamaica, we need.
Right.
We did not
so
do
the
what
gold
we had to do.
So you're saying that the gold project money, the money from the World Cup would have lasted 6 to 7 to 8 years to develop players and send them into Europe. That's what you're telling me.
No, it would have gone a far away. That we wouldn't be in a disposition where we are talking about.
Look, I'm not saying that some of that money was not misspent, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is that we don't understand the value of what it is and what is required to build programs. What do you think the Caribbean struggles on a whole? What is Trinidad? And you said Trinidad build program down at Trinidad. How many World Cups have Trinidad gone to?
Yeah, with them is
one.
The same as we.
Yeah.
Right? So what was the difference? With all of the stadium what them have and everything what them have there. How much World Cup them?
Question now. Who's the poorest country in the Caribbean?
Per capita? I don't know. Dominica? I don't know.
80.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is going to be their second World Cup.
Yeah, but why is that?
And them play every match away.
Yeah, why is that?
And them gone a World Cup with a harder group.
Why is that? I'm asking you, why is that?
I can't tell you that I have all the answers, but I think they were more dedicated to the task.
Look at where Haiti's players are developed, and then you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, in fact,
France and the United States, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Where are we developing our players? Here in Jamaica. And we send them
Don't say that to me, man. Come on, Leighton.
Where are we developing our players? Where are we developing our players?
All the players who represented me, most of them, with the exception of probably a Whisper, and probably enough of them are England them base.
Where?
Overseas them get them development.
You say why have they not then transitioned into somebody, our players that the big clubs want?
I can't say. Well, apart from Leon Bailey, I can't say. Which brings me to another argument now. We're arguing here about a youth program, right? Many may not like somebody, but their talent cannot be hidden under a bushel. Now, this individual that I'm going to mention is not the very most liked person in football in Jamaica. His name is Craig Butler. But one thing you can't take from him do good work with the youth them. Don't you?
I will reserve comment about Craig Butler.
Do you think he should be given a more important role in the development of youth football in Jamaica?
No. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but no. Because Craig Butler is all about Craig Butler. Craig Butler took over Veer a couple of years ago. We are Veer now. Relegated. Okay? Developing high school football, or getting a high school football team to win a competition or getting out in there does not mean that you have the ability to take a player to the highest level. I'm not saying that Craig Butler has not done a good job in terms of some of the things that he's done.
Leon Bailey would be, you'd say, at almost highest level. You'd say Whisper is almost there.
Okay.
We don't see no other Jamaican do that, though.
All right. So you're better to know. You mentioned Ricardo Fuller earlier on, right? Which I think is probably one of our best players ever played in England. Okay? What exactly has Leon Bailey done when he was at Bayer Leverkusen or Aston Villa. Tell me something that he's done.
He was the top scorer at Aston Villa last season.
Where?
No, he wasn't the top scorer, but he was scoring good goals. He was playing, he was representing his team.
He had a good season. He had a good season a couple seasons ago.
He had a good early season.
He had one good season.
Right?
Yeah, one good season. He was.
Yeah, so that's the standard that you.
I would argue that he has regressed since joining.
Yes.
So tell me. So what you're betting your standard on as a player has one good season.
Is that Craig Butler's fault though? Or is that
I never said it was Craig Butler's fault.
No, I'm asking.
I'm saying that you are saying that Craig Butler has developed Leon Bailey and Whisper.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said
what the man just said, Julian.
Good work with the youth.
The man just said how Leon Bailey and Whisper. Where is Whisper playing now?
Leicester City or something like that.
Because Chelsea send him from the academy down to Leicester to go and play something. Because him can't break into the team. Him can't even break into the under-23 team. So them send, so that's the standard that we're looking at?
No.
Where does most of Craig's players from Phoenix play in a little league in Madagascar?
What you comparing it to do? What you comparing it to do? Tell me about the other player from Jamaica who do better than that. Who, Bibi Gardner?
Bibi Gardner, Ricardo Fuller.
Walter Boyd. Walter Boyd didn't know.
But Walter never really got anywhere because Walter had issues.
Theodore Whitmore. Pepe
Tapper. Yeah, Pep and Pepe too.
Tell me now. They have.
But you see, Karyl, you are using isolated people to make a point. Right?
No.
We're talking about a handful. We're talking about a handful of players. We're not talking about dozens of players. We're talking about a handful of players. We're not talking about scores of players like the US is managing to get into Europe now, play all over the place, in France, in Germany, in the USA. We're not talking about a country that is developing players that people are gagging to come to Jamaica for sign players. They're not.
Yeah. The fact is we're not producing them that way. We haven't been doing it.
And why is that?
Yeah, man, we don't have a
because
system.
I'm not getting. We don't have a system in place to pull the talent up to a level.
Thank you very much. So we come back to it while we agree upon it and all Leighton, see we agree upon it there. Mr. Simons said develop the youth program. Have we developed it?
But we've been agreeing.
No, we have not.
From the first, I think we all agree, right? But Leighton, certainly, and we have to wrap this up. But so certainly, we're not there yet. I mean, we're seeing signs, right? We're seeing positive signs, but there's still a lot of work to do.
There's a long way to go. I think, the coaching development program is helping. We've seen an improvement in the play. Let me ask you, because there's a caveat to that. I don't like how the under-17 team plays, okay? They did well, but this long ball, this impatient thing, the inability to break the lines. Fullback get the ball, first thing you do is look up the field, it's a long pass to the centre forward or one of the wingers. Who plays football like that anymore? Break the lines, build the play, maintain possession of the ball, build the line, break the lines with your midfielders, set up the triangles and rotate the ball into midfield, spread it out into the half spaces and the flanks, swing the ball back into the middle and somebody try to score. We're not doing that. The under 20 team looks a lot better in most of the games.
I like them.
But Rudolph Austin did a good job against Puerto Rico in that last game in the first half. But in the second half, we mentioned they started to sit back, inexplicably started to sit back and put themselves on unnecessary pressure. Puerto Rico were unfortunate not to score. We can't play that football. We are better than that. What I'm saying to you is that the football that I saw, the under 17 guys, I don't like it at all. It's ad hoc. It's haphazard. There's no structure to it. So maybe it's a coaching issue or something, but it's not happening. I'm watching the team and I'm frustrated because There are times when, for example, you will see the center back have the ball, and everybody run down up on the field. There's nobody coming short to take the ball and build the play up, right? They don't move the ball into the half spaces effectively. And when they move it into the half spaces effectively, they don't have a way to advance the ball. So invariably they have to push back the ball and then one big kick up the field and then lose position, because what happens usually is that the striker is, and then put the two centre back on the striker, the lone striker up front, and invariably it will not win possession of the ball because a low percentage past that. And then we'll lose possession and then we have to defend again. That's not how football works anymore. This is not 1960, not England or 1950s. We need to build the play, maintain possession, break down defenses, break lines, pull teams out of position by moving the ball quickly at proper tempo, opening spaces, opening channels so people, midfielders run through and finding the forwards. Like what we saw in the first half against Puerto Rico. That's what the kind of football I think we need to be playing. Yeah. And occasionally you'll see a player.
Leighton, it's funny that you say that there, because I've always, in my observation, pound for pound, right? The females play more discipline than the males.
Yeah.
For Jamaica. Right? That's something.
Yeah, they do.
Leighton,
they do, but
Leighton,
the other side of that is that they're playing against opposition that not necessarily that great. The last World Cup team, the team that got to the quarterfinal round, played some good football, and we probably should have had better luck against Colombia. But the big problem that they couldn't get the ball to Bunny.
Yeah.
Leighton.
And when you watch how much I come into you, and when you look at how Manchester City, to be fair, we're not playing a similar style, we don't have the same quality players. But you see how Manchester City sets up and gets the ball to Bunny in open spaces that you can run at the defender and score. We're not doing that just yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to get there. But for right now, the girls are doing okay. I think that is a program that actually needs a proper grassroots program, because those girls don't start playing until very late. And you can see it. The evidence is there. The game we played against Guatemala the day where we won 3-2. Had it not been for Bunny, we lose that game.
Yeah.
Right? Chanda Hale scored, yes, but we were passing the ball into spaces and nobody did it. We were errant passes under no pressure whatsoever. We need to tighten up our game. And I think all of that comes back to coaching. All of that comes back to training. All of that comes back to how the discipline in which we play football. You know, so, yeah.
All right. Karyl.
Yeah, I just want to say Leighton. I just want to say no, man. I just want to big up Leighton a little bit. It's always been a pleasure over the years talking to a general like you, my senior, and I yield to my senior every time. You know me, I argue with you.
No, man. Yeah, man. No way,
sir. The question I want to ask, my general.
Yeah, man.
Over the years, limited in our Jamaica space, we've seen some youth coaches, some youth at the man income level, a man like Neville Bell, he did well with Georges. You have the Jerome Waits, you have some young coaches who do well with youth. Do you think, though, that Jamaica should invest in our local talent in terms of coaching? Are you, because truth is, Whitmore do better in the Gold Cup than couple international coach well.
Yeah, because Tupper understands how we play football.
You know what I mean? And then I see Lenny and Tiga Davis, them coach a good Cornwall College, a good Clarendon College. I mean, so do you think we can invest in ourselves where this football is concerned?
We are doing that now. Yeah. There are over 200 coaches right now that are actually undergoing upskilling. There are a number of coaches actually who are going for their UEFA A, CONCACAF A certification. And Speed has I think a UEFA Pro license. We're getting there. It takes time because the coaching badges take years, and it's not just a theory. You have to actually have the coaching experience as well. Miguel Coley is also well qualified. We have a number of coaches who are getting better, and there's a reason why I think we're playing better football locally as well. It's just that we're not at that level yet.
Make it to the World Cup?
We should have made it before, but McLaren, I won't get into that. But New Caledonia is not an easy team to beat. And then if we get past them, DR Congo is not an easy team. But whether they are Nigeria, because FIFA hasn't made a decision yet on whether or not they're going to unseat DR Congo and replace them with Nigeria. Either way, it won't be easy. Is it possible? Very much so. But it's going to be very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Make a call. Do you think we're going to qualify? Yes or no?
I would like to err on the side of caution and say we won't.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen anything to suggest that we're consistently good enough. We play one game good and then we don't play another game bad. The thing about good teams is that they play consistently well all the time. Or most of the time. A team will have a bad game every now and then. Jamaica has a bad game every other game.
All right, no.
If we play a good game against New Caledonia and win, chances are we're not going to play a good game against
DR Congo. The topic was the grassroots football in Jamaica. Do you think Mr. Speed would have fared well by taking a gamble at looking at local players and trying to find a diamond in the rough, maybe from our under 20 or our under 17 team who looks to have the star quality in the context of it's Narantes do Nascimento, Mr. Pele was 17 when he conquered the world. Also, can find a little local based talent that maybe, just maybe, we don't know, it's a gamble.
No.
Do you think Mr. Speed would have that thought process in him to say, I'm going to take that little youth from down at Jonestown and put him at center forward and see what will happen? Do you think that it can't happen, you're saying?
I'm not saying it can't. I just don't see a player who can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, nobody thought Pele could.
No, but you're using comparisons that don't make no sense. You see, here's the thing. Brazil has and remember that we were adopting a Brazilian style of football to play. Football is not a culture in Brazil. It's a religion.
So you mean it don't make no sense and it work already? Oh, you mean it don't make no sense Leighton and it work already?
It worked one time, boss.
No, sir, it work. So what go on with the youth man we name Yamal now?
Lamine Yamal?
No, one more time that.
Lamine Yamal came through a strong academy program.
Norman Whiteside was 17
but you're making comparisons
all
about
the time.
You are taking a
all the
comparison
time across the board in sports. Don't tell me it no makes sense.
You are making a comparison with a country that does not have a proper structured program to countries that do.
Brazil did at that time in 1958.
Oh yes, you remember Brazil had the best players in the world right across the board. That's why that 1970 team walked through the World Cup and 1970 team, 1960, 58, 62, and 1970.
70, yeah.
Right? And then, of course, they came back with that team in 1990, was it? The thing is this, Brazil has
proper... was a young man. Diego Maradona was a young man.
Where they come from, boss?
Ronaldo, Phenomenal, was a young man.
Where they come from, boss?
Was a young
Netherlands. Netherlands, who had played total football from God was a boy. Right? Argentina, Maradona, who had a structured program.
That is in 1974. God was a big man in 1974. Netherlands played football in 1974, total football. That is not true. Not from God was a boy. 1974, them come with total football.
So hold on a second. When you think them to start playing that football in 1974?
No. I'm not saying, but it evolved into what it was in 1974.
Yeah, because they had a proper grassroots program they were building towards that.
But then they also have players we can play. Because you could have a good grassroots program. The United States have the best grassroots program in the world.
No, they don't.
Why didn't they have the World Cup yet?
Them have the highest paid grassroots program in the world. So they're not getting the best talent.
Why the World Cup? Why them can't pass second round?
Because you're not getting the best talent. They're getting the best talent who can pay for the because everybody who goes to the United States tell you that you pay $3,500 per child to play football. In other countries they don't pay that much. It's actually available to kids to come in a program and play.
Are you forgetting that Pele used to wrap calabash with tape and juggle it before him get a real ball for kick?
Yeah, because that was work that he did on his own in addition to the work that they did in developing. Remember when he went to Santos to play, he never met the team right away, no?
Mm-hmm.
He never
No.
made the team right away. No, because he
No.
had to learn to play the football the way in which Brazil was playing the football. So while he had the
Because at the
individual
time-
skill, he had to learn how to play within the team structure, the style of play.
Yes, Leighton.
You see,
but
you're
remember
mixing up individual skill with style of play. They're two different things. I can juggle a ball 100 times and make a million things,
I'm not
but put me in
mixing
a
up
team
nothing at all. I'm
and
not
you put me in a
mixing
team
up
and it's
that.
a
I'm
different
saying,
thing.
remember this though, Leighton. You're telling me about individual skill and style of play. Bonito Jingo, or Jingo Bonito, what them call the thing. Don't quote me on how correct the terminology is. But me, you know what we're talking about. The Brazilian flair. At the time in
But where's that
1968, Brazil was trying to wipe it out and to erase it.
Yeah, because that was a classism thing.
Yes.
The
and
white man,
Pele
the white
came,
man, them never want them play, and yeah,
and when
and then the,
Pele it was forced on Pele to play a game, and he came with his
because they didn't
Brazilian
want him
player,
to,
ghetto
they
ball,
did,
man, ghetto game. You
they
can call
did,
it
they didn't
Jamaican style,
want him to
ghetto
play with the
football,
flair,
and it
right?
defeat the world. So why is it now you think it can't happen again?
I never said it can't happen again. You asked me if it can't me specifically. No, in Jamaica.
Yeah, I mean, I say
And
no too.
Yeah.
'Cause the way we see
Karyl,
Yamal play, the way we see Yamal
Karyl,
play, Yamal play ghetto ball.
yeah, but
All right, gentlemen.
all right.
Gentlemen.
Ronaldinho play
here.
ghetto ball and Messi them play ghetto ball.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the success of the
But
team.
it win the world, but at them man they make the money.
All right, who is leading in La Liga now?
In La Liga, me not follow them too much now.
All right.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
All right, cool.
Barcelona,
Right?
yeah.
What I'm saying to you is this. Yamal might be playing get a ball, as you say, but he has to learn how to play within the system, the style of play that Barcelona has found successful over the years. Remember that Barcelona has evolved from the tiki-taka Pep Guardiola era now with Xavi and Messi and Iniesta. You know. They're playing a different style of football now, right? Under Hansi Flick. So the thing is this. Yes, you might have the individual skill, but you have to learn to fit that skill within the style of play of the team that you're playing. Though one player cannot win you. No, let me not say that. One player is not going to get you the consistency in terms of winning the way a player can fit his style of his skill set into a team style of play. So a one Jamaican player is not going to come and change a Jamaican team and make them a winning team, because the one player cannot do that in terms of how Jamaica is playing right now.
That's right.
You mean like how Maradona?
All right, you see like how Maradona carried Argentina to a World Cup title in 86?
Yeah. So
Why was he able to do that?
You know, you say cannot. You tell me cannot. To a thing when we see happen already.
Yeah, when you message you, did he manage to do it in 82?
No.
Okay. I'll give it that.
Did he manage to do it in 86?
He did
All
it
right,
in 86.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, cool, dude.
I really
Leighton, boom up. Thank you, my general. Thank you.
Yeah, man, know yourself. Cool.
I love the intellectual discourse.
Yeah, man, take it easy, guys.